Hey guys, this is Simon with Trade and Perform Coaching. Doing a quick review for ES of the basically it's a direct setup. It's a we're looking for the pink signs or the triangles up with the pink bar on it in ES or the triangle up with the plus sign on it. Now, um, this video is very specific because what I'm trying to teach people is how they can make great P&L in a very specific, focused way. Um, And so, just before I jump into that, this is how you get a hold of me. If you're interested in getting a hold of me, it's at tradeandperform at gmail.com. There's no secret to the membership. We don't hide the price. It's very transparent. It's $279 per month. The price goes up every couple of months. You're locked in once you join. You're locked in at that price. If you quit, you're exposed to the higher price. If you decide to return again, most people, once they're in, they stay. So it's not a concern for most people. At any rate, this is Wednesday, and this is the area, this green area. I'm not going to go back and color code it as I usually do in the morning. This is the area we were looking to grab trades in, and it's simply never set up. What we're looking for, just let me prime you for that. What we are looking for is this plus sign with the triangle up inside this green area. However, on this day, it wouldn't have counted. Basically, Monday for this particular specific setup, you wouldn't have gotten it because it just didn't set up. It didn't set up inside the area we would have looked for. This is what we were looking for, and what I would have wanted was for the market to open up here, come back in and test, then giving me either of these two signals for the triangle up, for the lift to the upside. As it is, it never occurred, and that's okay. There was other setups there that could have been taken, but it just wasn't there on ES on Wednesday, a short week. So I'm going to pause this for a second, set up Thursday, then I'll do Friday, and then I'll post a video. Okay, so here we are on Thursday morning. Again, this was a short week, and so remember the the purpose of these areas, right, is to tell us where we want to trade and we don't want to trade. It does not mean the market will get there, but we want to be very so. This area that's in the black or negative space, I want to be very very cautious on the trades that I take in this area, and I'll so on this particular day, even though I do not like shorting, I think the guys that I coach one on one do better when they focus on one side of the trade, right? So I made up some specific rules that keep you from getting having a higher stop rate and maintaining a very high win rate. And this is a great example of where it just did not set up. You didn't get into the location for the short, and you didn't get into the location for the long. So you can say, well, that was kind of BS, Simon. You just kind of kept you out of this whole area. That's true, right? But you didn't get stopped on the long side when it was face ripping you all the way to the downside for a good 20 points, right? And you didn't get multiple triggers. Now, what I like to do in this situation and when I'm coaching people, I tell them, go look what would have happened if you take this trade. So there are some requirements. So the entry has to be off the bottom bar. So the bar has to make a low. It can't be delayed like this 1, 2, 3, 4, then pink up. You can take it, but it's very aggressive. So let's just kind of start. If you took this bar, if you use the most aggressive stop, it's a 1 bar stop. So your stop literally goes right here. Your entry goes right here plus a tick. So you're 438.75. That means you need 439.75 to get your one-to-one risk off, and you were able to achieve it for the aggressive trader. Now, the guy or gal who's less aggressive would use a 5 point stop there, and I would never take this trade with a 5 point stop. 1 point maybe, 5 points not. You got your one-to-one, then you got stopped. Next turn did not have a signal. Next turn had a plus sign. This was a stop. No matter how you looked at it, this is a stop. Whether you had a one-to-one because the bar was bigger, you never achieved a one-to-one, and this is either a 5 point stop or a 1 point stop. Again, the whole purpose of this, or the whole idea behind this, is you're not trading this because it's not in the highest odds location, right? Then you come down through here. Again, here's the first triangle up with the pink bar, and whether you use the 5 point stop or a 1 point stop, you achieved your scale, you got your one-to-one risk off, and on your for the the traders that can handle the aggressive 1 point stops. And let me tell you why they're aggressive. They're aggressive because if you take too many stops or you get stopped quickly, it can trigger you into tilt trading, right? So you really have to be very focused. If you look at these pink bars through here, here, let me erase this really quick. It's the pink bars you got was one. This is after the open. One, two, three, four. Now, all of them hit a 1-to-1 RR in this case, right? All of them were in outer space. I personally would not have taken them because I wanted them to be in here. Why? Because I can then focus on the extension. I know if I get them in here, I can then push them very far. If I did trade something like this, it would be for scalps only. I wouldn't be trying to shoot it like this. Unless there's just something I missed in this area. Of course, I put this chart together pretty quickly as opposed to the detail that I go through in the morning. But again, the whole thing is I don't have to see order flow. I don't have to see how many people hit the bid or how many people hit the ask. I know when those pink bars show up that they're lifting the ask. I can visually see it. There are aggressive buyers there. I want to be in on that trade. And you can see that the RR would have been very nice. And you'd had a very nice trading day on this particular day. Just like, and by the way, on the inverse, just to show you how to use this location, you'll see that once I got up into location in this unfair pricing, here's the purple triangles down if you wanted to use that. One, two. So the aggressive, again, the aggressive 1 point stop, 1 point scale of half off and push, you're fine here. You did not get smoked. But the aggressive traders did, which again is very commonplace on shorts. One, two, three. So remember, this stopped if you used a 1 point stop because it got back here. It didn't fall away, right? Three. This stopped. Again, I do not like shorts for this very reason. And then this finally pushed, right? So for shorts, you just have to have more complexity in the setup. And if you're trying to make this work on the short side and you don't have a good down market, to me, the shorts become very difficult. Not because it didn't roll, right? If I was a swing trader, I could just short it all the way through here and then it rolled. But the key is that because we're using leverage, we want detail-oriented setups. Some of the other things that I would have wanted in here, but they all fit the bill, which is I want one of the bars to fit, touching the outside of the channel before I get the purple bar down. And I'd prefer to already have some momentum going to the downside. This is a V-shaped day, and I don't like trading in the afternoon on top of that unless I'm already up nicely. Again, we would have been focused on the longs out of that area down below. And then here's Friday. Actually, I think Friday, let me just erase the lines really quick. See where I can find this. It'll take me just a second to set up. Nope. It's got to be here somewhere. Try this one more time. Sorry about that, guys. There it is. So Friday would have looked like this, and then the last piece would have been not quite there. Okay, so that's what Friday would have looked like, and this was beautiful. This is how I usually want it to set up. Again, we didn't get that very much coming in on at 8:30. So remember, these locations don't get set until 8:30 in the morning. So we knew about right here. So remember this. So let me tell you, I'm not trading this, and the reason why is before I'll trade in this location, I want it to push up into the negative space and then come back in and or open in the negative space and then come in. So this would be the first trade right there. If you had a 5 point stop, you pushed. If you had a 1 point stop, you got nicked on this. And the other requirement or the other thing that I would want very strongly is one of two things. I prefer the A++. Let me erase this really quick so you can see what I'm talking about. A++ is when the triangle up is it's pink, or it has the blue plus sign, or both, and it's completely inside our desired, our highlighted area. Okay, that's A plus plus. But A grade would be that it touches the fourth, what we call the fourth channel. This little blue line here is the fourth channel, and you get the triangle up, and it has the plus sign. Again, these show in real time. So this one I would not take. This one I would, and it also gave you a beautiful lift. I prefer this to this, but they're both very good trades. And again, you can see when we got back in again into that same location here around 9:34 Central Time, you had the triangle up, you had the plus sign, and that one was worth a whole lot of money if you kept your focus on the day. The only thing that could have made this better would have been if we would have taken out the lows from 8:31. That's the only thing that could have made this better over here. So that's ES recap, the first hour trading for the week. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it keeps you out of trouble. And sometimes it makes you, and sometimes it's just a nothing burger, right? But it's all right. I know exactly what the key point here is I'm not trading the market. I'm trading the setup. And so if the setup shows up the way I want it to show up, I make um, I make good money. If it doesn't show up the way I want, I can just sit on my hands and not lose any money, right? So now, if you want to stay with me for an extended version, I'm going to cover the Monday through Friday of the prior week, so you can see exactly what this looks like and get a good trade count. So I'm going to go do it real quick. It's as much for me as it is for you. So let's go seven. Let's see here. I'm going to need to load a few more days. Let's load 10 days. So looking on the calendar really quick. We're going to go to June 26th. Okay, here we are in the morning. I'm going to June 26th to set up the chart. And again, I'm doing it in the most simplistic, basic way possible. So June 26th look like this. And I have no idea why this is not carrying over. So hold on one second here. June 26th, chart number 6. Okay, so it should be there. I know what the problem is. 626 was Monday. Apologies. I need to go back a little bit further. So it was this. Sorry about that. It would have looked like this. 626. Okay, it would have looked like this. And then it would have looked like coming into the 26th. It would have been, got it. Okay, now I see where we are. Perfect. Okay, now I can show you. It would have looked like this. Sorry, sometimes it takes a couple minutes to think all the way through the problem, and like this. Okay, so now if you look, again, this is the extended version. So if you look over here, here's a 30. That's the open. So what I would have wanted for the long is for them to come down and test in here and give me the long back to the upside. You can see instead it pushed into our trading zone up on top. Again, you can see how freely it sweeps through the negative space there. That black area just gets swept through over and over. Now, you'll also notice sometimes the triangle up with the pink bar works just fine, depending on the type of stop you use, but sometimes it stuffs you right away, which is why I like to work in the area where it's highlighted in green or purple, depending on the color that I choose in the morning. So you'll see you had 1, 2, 3, 4 signals in there that were purple to the downside, and they obviously would have paid you very well if you chose to short. And then you can see when we get down here, right? So now I'm going to show you this count because this is the first time into this area, right? So again, not creating anything new. Triangle into this area, triangle up with a plus sign. It's A, it's not A plus because it's not inside the green area. That's one. This is the next one with the plus bar. It's inside the green area. That's A plus. That's two. Then we come over, and that's pink bar up. It's A. It's out of this area, and it pushes up. 1, 2, 3. That would have been Monday the 26th. This will be easier now. But I have the date, so now I'm going to erase it and go do Tuesday the 27th. My areas would look like this. On the 27th, it would be this. 25th, this, and this. Okay, so now I go over to Tuesday morning. And and remember, we're in a bull market. I'm looking primarily for longs. So you can see I only get one trade out of it. It's an A grade trade. The plus sign coming out of here touches the unfair pricing and pushes. Again, you'll see that it was difficult on the short side, right? If you look, you had 1, 2, that one worked very well. This one got stuffed, and that was it. And then it took off and continued to the upside. I like the pink bars to the upside in almost all circumstances, particularly when I can get them to the bottom of this channel, right? I like the pink bars. So, again, all you need is one good trade, right, to get paid. And you can see how that one good trade lifted and pushed. This trade was worth huge amounts of money on the upside in ES. So now let's go do Wednesday. We'll roll right over to Wednesday morning. We'll erase our lines and we'll start over again. So this is Wednesday, and our levels would have been here. Our resistance in the morning would have been here, and then we would have had all of this up here. Okay, so now we'll go look. Here's 8:30 in the morning. It sounds boring. Making money may be boring, but it's very profitable. Here you go. Okay, we're going to start the day. Here's 8:30 in the morning. There's the plus sign. You had to be damn fast to catch that. I guarantee you this went blindingly fast. There's the plus sign. That's trade 1. Pink bar. Trade 2. Again, a 1-to-1 if you use a 1-point stop. Paid you, got your 1-to-1 risk off, but you got stopped, right? A 5-point stop clearly kept you in for a beautiful trade to the upside. Here's your second entry right here, plus sign. It's A plus. It's inside the green area. Obviously, got you that 1-to-1 lift. However, so the plus sign, the setup actually is a little bit bigger. You do need a 5-point stop on the plus sign. The 1-to-1 is on the pink bar, just FYI. The plus sign, the bars are almost always bigger on the stops. And then you can see we rolled right over here. This is a stop. If you took this one at 903, that stopped you. Then you came right back with the triangle up on the plus sign, and you can see the beautiful lift. Notice the repetition. Notice that I'm not trying to figure out the whole market, even within just going back and resetting the day. I'm just looking at the day, and then my target is the other side of this range. It's going to be up here. I don't know why it's not painting up here. Let's see something here. Why isn't this 628? I see what I did wrong. Excuse me, 627, 628. I apologize. I didn't do it completely wrong, but I did it a little bit wrong. Let's correct this. It looked like this. 627. Why is that? 626 into 627. Because it's just not breaking it up. It was this. And it was this. Sorry, guys. I made a slight error. It looked like that. So I apologize. So actually, I need to reconstruct what I would have said because I need to reconstruct what I would have said because it would have looked a little bit differently. I made an error. I don't mind saying that. So just in designing this, I wouldn't have taken these. We opened up inside unfair pricing, and actually the potential here is for the move lower. What I needed to do was this right here, close above. And again, I show this to team members so that they'll keep me honest. I can't say, oh, I would have taken it. All of this would have rejected in here until we get to this point. And then here's your triangle up with a plus sign. That's your long. And it lifted you through the unfair pricing. I probably realistically, I hated all of this because it was all sitting on top of each other. Now, and you can see that I just would have had a difficult time with this all the way around. So apologies. It still worked. If you took it. So there is a difference here, right? So you can still do the trade count if you still took all the longs, which I wouldn't argue against, especially in the morning. The buyers are there. This gave you both the 5 points and cut your 1-to-1 risk off depending on which trade you used. This one worked. This one worked. This one stopped. And this one worked. They still all worked. If you're long, and it would be understandable during that week to have a long side bias. I think it's always understandable to have a long side bias. Actually, I think the market likes to work to the long side, especially when it's coming off that fourth channel. But this is I don't want to confuse it, but I use that area very specifically to know when I can really push those trades very, very hard and very, very far. Okay, so then let's see, that was the 28th. Let's go do the 29th. Hold on one second here. 29th, it would have been this, plus this, plus this. Okay, let's go look. And we'll go to Thursday, then we'll do Friday, and then we'll be done. Okay, here's 8:30. This one I love. Okay, so again, you can see what I want to do is get above this and then come back down into it. But again, you can see if you took the first pink triangle up, paid 1. I wouldn't have taken this one too high in the channel. This is a stop unless you used a 5-point stop. Your 5-point stop survived. Your 1-point stop got stopped. And this paid as well, the double pink, obviously over here. This paid as well for your 1-to-1. You got your, let's see if you got your risk off. I usually look for a 3 to 4 point scale. We may not have made it here. Let's see. 21 to 23, you got 2 points at best. No trade here. Trade here, this is valid, the plus sign right there, and obviously you face ripped it to the upside. And again, the targeting to the upside very much helps you. You're trying to get up into this other side of this channel for the unfair pricing, and you can see how well those areas act as support and resistance. So let's go do Friday, and then I'll be done. Friday was the 30th. So the levels there would have been a little different. It would have been, let's see, we gapped on that Friday. Actually, it was a no-brainer. It was trend day up. I'll show you what it looked like. There was nothing to do. Like you were either long or you weren't on that Friday. This is the air. What we would have wanted is for it to, here's 830, push above, push in, and push out. It didn't. You can see here as the alternative, you could have used a pink triangle up off the fourth channel. This one was, so I'll just go through the different count, right? This is 831. That's a winner. Two's a loser. Three's a winner. Not a trade. Winner. And day's over. Actually, you wouldn't have even taken that. That was at the end of the day on Friday. So that's how that day worked out. It was just straight up. You did have an opportunity to get long. As I said, if I was looking for the long, you can see how it retraced. That was your best long opportunity. Over here, you would have taken one stop, one very nice win, and it didn't set up over here at 1040, which is totally fine. Doesn't have to. So that's a week and a half worth of trades. It's a week and a half worth of profits. It's a week and a half worth of showing you where location is. If it sounded boring, it's because it is a little bit, right? We really take out a lot of the work and the guessing out of the process, and we know exactly where we're looking, what we're looking for, and how we're looking for it, and it makes our life a lot easier. Again, this is how you get a hold of me. If you'd like a 5-day trail to the room costs $279 a month. Okay, so there's no secrets here. You can agree with it, disagree with it. Please don't send me any hate mail about how trading information should be free or I can do it on my own for free. This business has a 2% win rate. That's 2% of people over an extended period of time to make money. I've had people in this room for over 5 years, over 6 years, because they're consistent and they're making money and they gladly pay the fees associated with doing that because it keeps them on track mentally, emotionally, psychologically, and profitability wise. So that's my 2 cents. And anyways, if you have any questions, guys, let me know. TRADEnPerform@gmail.com. If you're a person who can contribute to our room that wants to learn and wants to correct the problems that are keeping you from being consistent, then you're welcome in the room. Not interested in other people's trading processes or different ideas of what you think about the news or economics or anything else. We are very focused on getting our money and getting the hell out of the market on a daily basis. Have a great night, guys.